Hello and welcome. This is Veteran0121 with my first Let's Play. Well, actually it's my first video ever because I've never posted anything on YouTube before, but I've seen other LPs of other games, well, the same game done by certain people, and I figured, hey, I might as well give it a go because this is one of my favorite games ever made, basically, and now it's remade, and it's even better than the original that came out in 1991. And when I was 11 years old, this was my favorite game. In some ways it still is my favorite game. It's kind of disappointing they didn't do it for like a higher end system, but hey, I'm not going to complain too much because this game is just one of my favorites, period.
Hi, this is my first ever Final Fantasy review on the FF4 game played by Veteran0121. This is my first ever DS Final Fantasy game I have ever played, but technically for the big system, my first game was the FF7. And that is probably why I feel so more attached to FF7. But going on with like this one, the storyline starts off when you have Cecil the Online Den Dark Knight, who has just completed a mission. He was then returning home to report to his king about his success. After Cecil got back towards the castle, he ran into his best friend, Kane. Kane pretty much tells him about Rosa, and then after that, they have both walked up towards the Kane's castle. Throne room. And after that, the king would give Cecil a ring and tell him for to leave that morning. For to bring the ring to the village of the mist. When morning came, Cecil with Kane went to the village of the mist for to deliver the ring. When they had got there, they found out that that ring was a trap. It was trapped with fireball monsters that has ultimately destroyed the village. After the village was destroyed, a 5-year-old girl by the name of Lydia, she was so angry she wanted Cecil and Kane dead, so out of rage she was able to summon a giant golem monster that somehow left a giant endless pit hole in the earth. After that, Kane was somehow missing. Only two that was left was just Cecil and Lydia. Somehow Cecil was able to calm down Lydia and tell her that everything what happened was not his fault, that he's been set up by his king. Lydia would take his word for it, but still not fully forgiving Cecil for what happened. Cecil would then take Lydia towards the nearest town for to heal. Which that part was kinda hard because Lydia spells back then, they were just white magic with 2 summoning spells, and that was totally useless. After they went to the hotel in a small village, they was then attacked by palace guards that wanted Lydia for themselves, and then was up to Cecil for to take them out one by one. But with a cheat strategy by Veteran0121, he had discovered that if we take out the hidden guard, the rest of them would be totally useless. But basically, moving on like this, if I told this whole storyline, it would like take me about one whole day for it to like cover everything. So I will just basically go on with what I think about this game. This game was 5-star as far as like graphics, fighting, everything. It was extremely easy for to grind in this game, as they call it nowadays, instead of like training. But yeah, Veteran0121 they did a LP about how to like complete the FF game without grinding, which for me that was like next to impossible for to like do, because Veteran0121 he had previously completed the game many times beforehand, so he had a much more better advantage as far as like getting animate spells and stuff that a first time player can't. But pretty much other than that, this was one of the best games I had like ever played through, and the fighting was great. The like storyline ultimately got more intense as the game went along, but it was not as heart-stopping as advanced as the more newer Final Fantasy games. Like I say, this game may be classic, but the storyline with FF7 still surpassed this one by far. But ultimately, this game had a lot of plot holes in it, some of which ultimately made no sense. Like, there were clearly several times in the game where a character should have been killed, but somehow they managed for it to like live. I think only like less than a handful of characters actually died in like this game, versus the like ones that seem to have died and like stayed alive somehow. And we had a lot of great character switch ups. Some of them when the characters get placed, they will start at a very low level, and like you will have to train them for to like raise their levels up. Something that Veteran0121 probably didn't want to like do, but he had for to like do it like on some occasions. And my review about the Bard Edworth was completely and totally useless, but this is like just on me. I gave Edworth 8 on like chance, even like though his character could have been like better if that he would like just lose that stupid harp that he plays for a real weapon. He could have been like somewhat more used in this game. But like seriously, I never found nobody more worthless and like weak than the character of like Edworth. Mainly, Edworth was the guy holding back the team from like reaching their true potential. And you wanna know the old saying that a team is just as strong as their like weakest link? Well, Edworth was the weakest link of like this team, because basically everybody was like just protecting him. And going on with my review on FF4, we had other great characters such as the I don't know everybody's name by heart. If that's it, y'all know who I am mentioning. Just mention the like time of the video with the comment. And there was this one ninja who was a monk. He had great ninja skills. He was a ultimate upgrade for like ever. the unlike monk, he was like probably one of the best fighters in the game, next to Setsu and King. Actually, when the monk first had started, he was like actually stronger than unlike Setsu, like at first. So yeah, he could have gave Setsu a like run for his money and like became the new leader if that guy wanted to. But storyline wise, that cannot happen. As for like other characters, we have Lydia, who would like start off weak and like come back as a powerful summoner, the unlike most powerful black magic summoner one in the game. And we got Rosa. She ultimately turned them out for to be the best healer in the game. Thanks to a strategy Veteran0121 found out what to like use. And I'm not telling what that strategy is. If y'all want to like know, you got to like watch his videos to like see what I am talking about. And as for other characters, Setsu was a great warrior as a dark knight, but like then he became the Paladin of Light later on in the game series. And the Paladin of Light was a lot more stronger, and his HP went up extremely fast. And somehow Setsu quickly became the most strongest one in the game again, with like have a high HP like at such a low level. I think my review on Kane is that Kane also is a great fighter in the game, probably one of the best fighters. That was why losing Kane was like probably one of the game's worst moment. But like lucky for me, I always have Kane unequipped every time before he had left the party. And moving on towards the trends. The trends will like start out weak, but like ultimately get a lot more better as the game goes along. But like the trends, they are not really on the game for long, but like just for one storyline, and like that is it. And as for other characters like Tella was a great character who somehow came on back at the end after like he had died. I think Tella was the only one that had really died in like this game. But like his spirit came on back later for to like help out Setsu and the party. And moving on towards the ultimate airships. Every last airship in the game was great. This was one of the few games that had like multiple airships in them, including the giant whale airship, which I think they could have made the airship a lot more better. No complaints about the whole design in them, but the only flaw I found with the airship was that in like every other Final Fantasy games, every last character of one like your party should be having their own spot in the airship, and then you as the main character would like need to walk up to them and like talk to them one by one. And I also didn't like about the airship was that every time you land, you like actually got forced to walk out instead of like just landing and like your party will like just come up out of the plane like in other Final Fantasy games. But like ultimately, I give this game like a major 10 out of 10 or a 5 out of 5, whichever one it is. The fighting, it is great. It is so incredibly easy for to like grind in this long game, and I will so recommend anybody who didn't yet played it, buy it. And if you need a walkthrough, use Veteran0121's LP. If you want the playlist link to like Veteran0121's game, I'll be sure to like post it in the video if I can find it. And basically, I think I got everything covered in this review of the FF4 LP game, except for the ending. The ending was great. It was a powerful ending, and I still don't know where those trend girls came from at the end. They seem like something that the game just put there out of like nowhere. But yeah, I give the ending a 5-star because it was the ending I was like hoping for to like see. And well, that is it. Enjoy my ending part and see y'all next time, guys.